ask us some questions about the series. Can we confirm that there's no family lineage for you to deal with, no second cousins from a third marriage or anything?
No family over here. It's it was hard fought series, and going in, obviously, Brayden and I knew that it was going to be memories for a lifetime, whichever way it shook out. And to be honest, it was fun at the same time, but it was also brutal at the same time. I mean, just obviously playing him in the way that he plays the game. Obviously, I personally love the way he plays and hard physical brand of hockey. But then when he's running over, your own guys in your own team, it's you're kind of sort of caught in between on a lot of things. So it was tough, for our family and just kind of everyone to go through it. But going into the series, my dad told us both all he wanted was a Game 7 overtime, and then we could figure it out from there. And sure enough, he got what he wanted. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we'll have memories for a lifetime there, and at the same time, kind of a relief that it's over.
Even though there is the expectation this series might not be as physical, you can't change that dynamic personally, can you, and how you play?
No, I mean, I think it's, who knows what the series is going to bring. I mean, I think they're a big, strong, heavy team over there. And, obviously we play a certain style. And, obviously that St. Louis series was something else in terms of physical play. But big, heavy team down, that's heavy down low. And who knows how it's going to shape up. But, it's going to be a battle for sure.
You can probably admit this now because you guys went on to win. But when Brayden takes that puck over the glass penalty, probably kind of happy that you wanted a different way, right? That he doesn't have to wear that.
That's correct. Yeah, I was on the ice there. I was on the blue line, and he launched over the glass, and I was, obviously, you're doing whatever you can to win, but, you don't want to see it go down like that on a personal level. But I'm just happy that, everything shaked out the way it did, and obviously couldn't be more proud to, to be part of the group here. And like I said, it was fun and exciting, but, just the other thing too is when you're in a playoff series or throughout the course of the season, I mean, if I have a tough game personally or tough loss or good one, I know Brayden's usually my first call, and to kind of break down the game with and get advice from, just because we know each other so well, we push each other, and the communication's cut off. I think it was tough both ways when you're trying to bounce some thoughts or whatever you're going through off one another.
Must have been pretty emotional just in that handshake line when you and him embraced, I imagine.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's exactly what he said is one for the memories and best of luck and try to go get another one. So, I mean, obviously, we knew it was going to be emotional, obviously, going into the series, and it's crazy the way that everything, happened on the stretch there. It's still hard to believe, and still, for a good part, a couple of days, I think, both sides are probably pretty stunned.
It was games 5 that you and Brayden were beaking at each other near the benches. What was that about?
I'll keep that one in personally. No, he was just competing. I mean, he was pretty involved emotionally, obviously physically, and kind of getting under guys' skin throughout the whole series, and just kind of came by our bench and had a couple words, and I'd had enough. I was having a tough game myself, and I just had enough. So went over, and we both got in trouble from my mom and dad after.
You guys had a longer chat since Game 7, a longer chat than just the handshake line, and how did that go if you did?
Oh, we probably talked 6 or 7 times already. Yeah. I mean, I talked to him right after the game in the stands here with my parents, and then, right after the game the next day, we probably talked a couple times yesterday. So, yeah, things are back to normal for sure. And it's funny, obviously now breaking down the series of, what's sort of going on behind the scenes, what they were saying about, our team and guys on our team and vice versa, and just sort of, the ins and outs of the game. Now, obviously, we can share a little bit more now that it's done.
Share one of the more interesting ones? Or?
No, I'll keep that between us, yeah.
Just compare Dallas and St. Louis quickly.
Great goaltending, just deep teams that play hard, tough buildings to play in. Obviously, Dallas probably, more veteran lineup, a little more experience, and guys that have been there a little bit longer, but at the same time, teams that are obviously really, really well coached. There's some similarities, yet there's some differences. Like I said, you play this team throughout the regular season and have a bit of an idea of what to expect. But until the series gets going, there's sort of takes on a life of its own. So we're looking forward to getting going here. Obviously, everyone's real proud of the way that we battled back in the last one. But in saying that, that's in the past now, and we gotta just kind of build off it. And obviously Dallas had a huge Game 7 too, so both teams are feeling obviously pretty good about themselves, and it's gonna be another great series.